Hello people of YouTube. So I want to make a video game, and I found out that for me the easiest way to make a video game as a person with no experience is going to be through Pico 8. And basically Pico 8 is like they call it a fantasy console, so it never existed, but it's a game engine that will run like on your computer and whatnot. So this video is just me documenting my journey of making my first game ever, and I'll be sharing the challenges that I run into, my approach to making this game, and also letting you know like the resources and stuff that I use to help me figure out how to get over these challenges that are inevitable when it comes to any kind of coding or learning anything ever. So basically the first thing I decided to do when I decided I'm going to be making a game on Pico 8 is I just started looking into it, started watching YouTube videos, and I have a folder. I have a Pico 8 folder where I take my notes. I like to take my notes on graph paper, and I've started to compile things that I think will be useful for me. And there's one specific guy that I find really helpful. Like his tutorials are like straight up, and he's super easy to follow along with. So I'm going to be linking him down below. He's great. If you're interested in getting started with Pico 8, check him out because he just makes it very approachable. And now I'm going to show you my notes because I'm kind of a nerd and I want to share my notes. So the way I approached it is this guy, he has a playlist on his YouTube channel. The playlist is what I'll be linking down below, and then you can check out the rest of his videos if you want. And I just went through each of them, and then the ones that I thought would be helpful to me, I wrote down the whole code, and then also highlighted things to like help me know what's going on and make it easier for myself to navigate. For example, I highlighted everything that had the act code attached to it pink, so I knew what was going on, and if I got a little confused I could just follow back to pink. And then I also wrote how it works to my understanding, so I was able to go back and be like, okay, what is all this stuff doing and how does it work? And another example of how I use like the highlighters and stuff is for rect. It creates a rectangle box only, and rect fill creates a solid rectangle, because that's something I genuinely would not remember if I didn't write it down, and then I'd be re-googling what is the difference between these two like 20 million times. I just like to color code it because I'm a freak like that. But as long as you're letting yourself know what each little section of code is doing, that's really what's important here. I didn't even try to make any like actual games at this point. I was just taking notes and getting a feel for what it feels like to actually use Pico 8. Because each of these pages is telling me how to do something specific, but it's not really telling me how to put it all together to make a game. Like this one, I know how to put random tiles everywhere, but I haven't figured out how to actually incorporate that with collisions and taking damage and all that. I don't know how to put it together, but since I know what each piece is doing, hopefully I will be able to take these individual pieces of knowledge and put them together and make something fun. And another thing I like to use is this like little Pico 8 booklet. I did make a video on how to make these booklets. If you're interested, that will also be in the description. It's just helping me to keep all my questions and stuff in one place. I got a lot of empty pages, but simple stuff like questions that I can come back to. Like I didn't know what a local variable was, so I just took note of that, and then I went back and figured out what a local variable is, and now I know. And then there's also just a list of things that I think I need to know on how to make this specific game that I'm trying to make. Oh, I don't even think I told you about what the game is that I'm trying to make. Okay, I'm sorry about that, and I'm sorry that this video is so disorganized and confusing. I'm disorganized and confused. I'm trying to figure out this whole thing and also document it and whatever. I want to tell you about the game idea that I have. So basically, it's inspired by this sweatshirt that I'm wearing today, Ghosts and Cows. And the premise of the game is you are a cow in a graveyard and you have to avoid the ghosts and eat grass. It's a very simple game, or simple concept. I'm kind of having trouble executing it, but that's okay because that was expected. I'm learning. So basically the game function that I want is the player will move around the cow in whatever way they want, and then there'll be headstones everywhere that you can't go through. And then ghosts will randomly spawn and chase the cow, and the cow has like 3 hearts to live or something like that. You know, a simple health system. And the cow will go around and eat randomly spawned grass. And I haven't decided what happens when the cow eats so many grass. Like, I don't know if it's like an infinite game and you just eat infinite grass, or maybe it'll be like level based, like eat 10 pieces of grass and then you upgrade to a new level or new map or something. I do think I want to go with the level version, but the amount of trouble that I'm having with the game right now, I might just go with like infinite grass and you die. When you die, it'll be a smaller game rather than level-based game, and then the next game I can make more complicated. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But the premise is, you're a cow trying not to get possessed by the ghost while you eat grass around the graveyard. Okay, so now that you know about my game concept, and you see my notes, and you saw my little booklet, and I've already shouted out the guy I wanted to shout out for helping me so much, now we can get into the actual game, and I will show you my code and let you know about the troubles that I'm having. And then after that, I hope I can show you how I fixed those troubles that I'm having. But we'll see. I don't know yet because I haven't fixed it in real life yet. So we'll see. We'll see. So this is where my code is at so far. So I'll start running it. And it has some issues. I can't walk through the graves, which is a good thing. I haven't figured out how to make the enemies work. Because you see up there in the health, when you come in contact with it, it's supposed to, take off 1 health, but it goes way too fast. So I gotta find some way to slow that down. But also, I want them to spawn randomly, because in my code right now, I just have them spawned like right here in this line. I have it spawned in one specific area, but I want it to be spawned randomly, but it's not working right now. The idea is that the grass will spawn randomly every like 20 seconds or so. And then I also want random ghosts to spawn every 20 seconds or so. And then when I hit the ghost, it will kill it. Or not kill it. It'll take some health off of me. But this is about as far as I've been able to get on my own with the videos that I've watched and all that. I just got a lot of tweaks left. So we're all aware of the AI discourse online. Some people love it, some people hate it and think it's ruining everything. Up until this point, I've been avoiding AI because I don't know enough on the topic, and I don't know what the facts are about how much it's ruining the planet and in what ways. I genuinely just don't know, so I've withholded any kind of strong opinion about it. And in my personal day-to-day life, I really have no use for AI, so it's just something that I didn't really bother about. And I didn't want to use AI to help me code or anything, because I want to actually learn how to code. I don't want to just learn how to ask AI how to do things. Like, I think AI is more like, I want this project done, help me do it so I can get it done quicker. And then my goal is more like, I want the knowledge on how this thing works and how to do it and do it again and do it again. So I had been avoiding using AI because of my preconceptions of how it's used and whatnot. Until today, I finally cracked down and started to use Google Gemini to help me, because I have been Googling and Googling and Googling and Googling, and I haven't been able to find exactly what I'm looking for on GitHub or any of the typical things, like nothing on YouTube. I couldn't find a YouTube tutorial. And if I can't find a YouTube tutorial, how am I supposed to do it? YouTube University has failed me on this front, but that's okay, because now I'm trying out AI. And the thing that actually convinced me to do it is I was watching this video of this guy who was making his own little BMO AI chat box, and he ended up using Google Gemini. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just being stubborn on something that I don't even know about and making my life harder because the internet told me something was bad, and I hadn't even done my own research on how bad it is or how good it could be. I don't know. I still am uneducated on like the health of the world and how AI impacts that. I'm sure it does have some negative impacts on the world, or negative impacts on Earth, I should say. But I still do use single-use plastics. I drive a car, and I consume meat from the big evil meat corporations. So I think this is just going to be another thing where it's like, I know in some ways it is negatively impacting our Earth, but it's a problem that's a little bit bigger than me right now, and I'm just gonna use Google AI. I'm imperfect, sue me. And if the world implodes because I used AI to help me code a ghost versus cow game, I accept my spot in hell. But this is what I was able to come up with my first round of using AI as help. And this is how it looks when I play the game, which is obviously very much too many ghosts. I don't think anyone would be able to survive this. So I have to find some way to slow it down. Maybe one thing that I did do to try and slow it down is take this spawn rate and up it. It started off at 60, and then I went to 500. Maybe I'll make it like 2,000, see if that slows it down enough. See, I don't know if that's actually making a difference or not. It might not be the spawn rate issue. So I do think that AI is helping me learn still, because it will give me code, but it'll give me code that I still need to debug. So it's not like I'm just putting in a prompt and the game comes out perfect. It's like I put in a prompt, it helps me get started. It gives me some commands and ideas on how to make it work, but then I got to go back and fix what it did because it's obviously not perfect. So what I did is, instead of using a timer function, I decided to use a random command line thingy right here. So there's basically a 1% chance that it will spawn a ghost, and that seems to make it much more manageable. Like, this is a good amount of ghost and makes a playable game versus the first one where there was just no way. And then the next thing for me to do is to go ahead and figure out how to make the ghost actually chase me instead of just going down all the time. And I will be using AI for that as well. I have it up right here. I already asked the question. I got to figure out how to make that work. And then after I figure out how to make them chase me, then I can go back and fix this health thing, because right now the health still only works with this one, and the health drops way too fast. But that's 2 steps away. Okay, so over here in Google Gemini, they gave me 3 different options on how to make the ghost chase me. I decided to go with this super easy one because that is the skill level that I'm at. But there's this one down here literally made my jaw drop. Like, I had no idea we could use trigonometry in Pico 8, which I don't know much about it. I never took a trigonometry class, but I will be writing this down and having some notes on it so I can go back for it probably for a future game. But for now, I will be using this simple one because I do understand it, and my goal here is to learn how to use it. If I were to go with this one that I didn't really understand how it works, it might make my game a little bit better, but it would make my comprehension a little worse. And the goal here is to learn how to do it, not so much make the best game ever. So I added the easier chase function right here. So basically what it does is it takes the coordinates of the ghost and compares them to the coordinates of the player, and then it makes the ghost go towards the player. And this is what that looks like. Oh, and one thing I did notice is that they'll chase me, but they won't chase me up on the y-axis. So I gotta see, like, they'll chase me down, but when I go up, they can't follow. So I gotta look at my code. I think I know what the problem is. Something up here. Here, in this one for the updating function, it used to add that code to make the ghost go down like you saw earlier in the video, but since I want them to be able to go back up, deleting that line should allow them to move up on the y-axis instead of constantly moving down on it. Let's see. And that works. They can now go up and down on the y-axis. Awesome. The next step will be to build the health bar, and then when they touch me, take a little damage. Okay, so I just did a couple of things. I added a damage function, and I made it to where when a ghost hits me, it takes 1 damage and then deletes the ghost. And that got rid of that issue of one ghost like taking 20 million health points at one time, because once it hits me once, it's gone. And then I also used the same code that was for the ghost to spawn grass. So when I start it, the grass and ghost do spawn around the same rate at this point. And when I run into grass, it'll add grass that you can see up there in the top left corner. It'll add a grass, and then if I end up getting hit by a ghost, it will take 1 health point away and the ghost will disappear, and then I can go and eat another grass. I do need to find a way to make sure the grass won't spawn on top of a headstone like it is over there, but I don't know. And I also want to change this stuff up here, the health and grass, to actual bars instead of just labeling it grass and health. And then also, no more negative health, because if I get negative, then I'm dead. Hello people, so it's been about a week since my last update about my game, and within this past week, I've been, instead of working on the game directly, I've been working on my coding skills using Khan Academy. And I'm pretty sure you already know what Khan Academy is, but if you don't, basically, it's a website where you can learn like basic academics in pretty much any subject. They have like math, history, coding, programming. So their focus on their course is JavaScript, but I think that's a good thing because it's helping me get like familiar with multiple languages rather than just whatever language Pico 8 is using. And I found it's been very helpful for me because I've been able to understand what exactly I was doing in the past, and then also it opened my mind to like more options on how this stuff actually works. So I do recommend Khan Academy if you're interested in learning literally anything, because it's a free resource and they give you the basics of pretty much anything, which is amazing. And now I will show you the updates to my game that I just did. Okay, so all I've done so far is just added these health bars and stuff up top, and they actually work, which is super impressive. Like if I get hit by a ghost, boom, health bar goes down, and if I eat this grass, the grass bar will go up. So yes, very basic things. The functionality of it is way better, and also I'm getting better at playing the game. Since I've demoed it so much, I'm low-key getting good. Now that I'm looking at it, I actually don't need this stuff up here in the top left corner anymore because it works. So I will go ahead and this is it. I will delete this now because I don't need it because I have my bars. And I will also delete that from here. And I will run that again just to make sure nothing is broken. Okay. And it looks a lot cleaner that way. Okay, this is good. This is good. And the next thing that I want to do is learn how... Oh, I can't get that piece of grass. Okay, that's a bug. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But the next thing I want to do is learn how to do maps. And I've been focusing on that in a different tab. So here, I've been doing some map studies. Very basic. Press up, it changes the map. Press down, it changes the map again. But this was basically just like a separate thing. One, I practice on how to move my player around. I try to memorize how to actually do that so I don't have to reference my notes every single time I want to. So that's what all this code right here is about. It's about moving the player. And I'm also working on keeping my code cleaner instead of, having it all over the place, because not gonna lie, this stuff over here on my main game, it's kind of a mess, and if I'm looking for something, it's a little hard to find, but whatever. That's a skill that needs practice. But the most important thing for this second version game thingy tab thing, I'm not saving this at all. This was just so I could figure out how to use the map function. And I do understand the map function pretty well now. So yeah, take a look at that. Ain't that beautiful? My idea here was it's a little poop in the bathroom. But then I wanted to be able to know how to change the map, so I just mapped it to a button. So when I press up, it changes the map. When I press down, it changes the map. Because what I'm going to do here is after the health is all the way down, I will make it to like an end screen kind of map. Or if the grass bar gets filled up first, I will change the map and you can continue playing and it'll be like next level, level up, level up. Also, one more thing that I've learned on COD Academy is how to approach these parentheses, because I had no idea how they actually worked, but it turns out it's something called a what's it called? A parable? Not a parable, hold on. A parameter. So basically, whatever you put in the parentheses is a parameter that can be defined and changed later, if that makes sense. Like here I used move and the parameter is L, but if I changed it to player like I did here, instead of doing all this to L, it'll just do it to player, which is something that made absolutely no sense to me before I started studying on Khan Academy. So it's like little things like that. Like coding is so particular, and some of it I need explained to me. Like some of it I can't just pick up on my own. So yeah, completely recommend using Khan Academy for help. Okay, so I've done a little bit with making maps and stuff. I've done like some simple maps. This isn't like the complete version of what the game will look like. I do want to make the maps look a little nicer. And then another thing, I have to die to show you, or let me show you some of the levels. The levels actually work, but there are a couple of bugs. One bug I want to fix is I don't want the grass to be able to overlap over these headstones anymore, because that's no bueno. And then also, see, boom, new level, new level. And another bug is when these ghosts, they stack up. So I'll take damage from this one ghost as two ghosts, because eventually they just tend to stack up on each other, and then you only see one ghost, but the computer knows that there's two ghosts or multiple ghosts there, and that becomes a problem when there's a whole bunch of them, because it feels like a mega hit, which it's kind of fair, but I don't like it. And here is my end screen. It's not complete. I want to make this, what's it called? I want this tombstone to be way bigger. I want it to take up the whole screen. And I want to get rid of this health bar and eat grass bar up in the top. I don't need these anymore once you're dead. And one feature, I guess, is if you see little flashes randomly, that is the grass trying to spawn. It automatically despawns itself because over here in the code somewhere, where is it in the game? Okay, so this line of code for B and all GRS, which is blades and all grass, that's why I labeled it that way, do delete all the blades of grass. So what is happening is it like briefly shows up for like 1 frame and then it gets deleted automatically, which I didn't mean for that to happen, but I do kind of like the way it looks, so I'm going to leave it like that. And if we look at how I did the maps in here, it's a hot mess, and I will do it oh, hello. I will do it differently the next time I try and make a game, but these red borders were just to help me understand and visualize like what is what, like which square is for which level. That's why I have it taped off with red, just so that was easier for me to keep track of with my own mind. And then that's the end screen map over here. And I want to do like maybe 10 levels on this game. I think 10 is reasonable. There just are a couple of bugs like the grass overlapping with the actually what I'm going to do about the grass overlapping is I'm not going to change the code. I'm going to change the sprite of the grass. Because here, you see how it has a green background? Okay, I'm changing this background to be just a transparent background. And it still will overlap with the headstones, but it is going to look a lot nicer, and that's what matters. And if it turns out that one spawns in a place that you can't reach it, that's a you problem. That's too bad. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I want to see it happen now. Oh, there it goes. There it goes right there. See, you could still see the tombstones behind it, and you can't quite eat it. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I do want to fix that, because it doesn't look as okay as I thought it would. I don't know. But another thing I want to do is add like a little hay block. And I'll show you here, this sprite right here. I'll go ahead and make the background transparent as well. But I wanted to spawn really randomly and have that like reamp your health. Like if you eat one blade of grass, that's good, that's good, that's what you're supposed to do. But when you hit one of these, your health bar will automatically be refilled. I think that would be a nice game function. But I want it to be very rare. I want it to be a rare special item hay block thingy. I am also considering making it look a little 3D or something. Okay, no. That I'm going to tweak it off camera. Maybe it'll look different next time you see it. Maybe it won't. I kind of want it to look more three-dimensional. Wait. It kind of does now. I'm on to something. Okay, maybe. Okay, so the game is almost done. And I was going to initially go ahead and make 10 levels, but it's not going to work because for some reason, this right here, this sprite is attached to this piece of the map. And it is frustrating me so bad that I'm going to give up. Because look, I'm trying to, if I try to make this right here, this little piece of a map, if I try and fill it in with green, it starts adding this over here. And that's so frustrating. I don't know why they're attached, but you see how it made that block? And then it happens here too. That wasn't there before. And if I go here and try to fix this that I just saw, give me 1 second, I'll fix that up, right? Make it back the color that it's supposed to be. And then I go back to the map and it took the chunk I just filled in. So the game is done. I'm frustrated. It will be linked down below so you can play it yourself. I haven't fixed the bug where it spawns on top of these thingies. I didn't fix that. I do want to. I might on a later day, but I'm so upset that I'm done with the game. It's done. It's good enough. Go play it. Have fun. Goodbye. Okay, just kidding. The video's not over and the game's not finished. I chilled out for a second. So the solution that I have decided to go with is instead of having the map be like this, where it includes that little corner that I just can't fill in for whatever reason, the map will actually just be like this. So all that means is I can't really block off the things like I wanted to, which is completely fine. And it also means that this line right here that sits between the top and the bottom set of maps, they share that line, so it'll show up on both sides, but on one set of the map, this line will be on the top, and then on the other set of the map, it'll be on the bottom, which I don't think anyone would even notice unless they knew. So it's fine. Everything is fine, and the game is almost done. I'm glad I'm glad I'm chill. I'm chill. I'm chill. The last thing that I want to do is just fix up that singular bug thing that I've been talking about forever, where they spawn on top of the gravestones, and then it'll be done. And also, I changed it to where it only takes me eating one grass to finish a level, but I will be changing that back before I upload it for other people to play. This is just so I'm able to shuffle through everything real quick. I do need a congratulations you win screen. I do have a so sorry you died screen, but I don't have a you win screen. So I'm going to do that, fix a bug, and then it will be done. Okay, everybody, I have officially finished the game. The code is actually a hot mess, especially towards the end because I was struggling. I decided not to fix the bug about the grass. No matter how many times I said I was going to fix it, I decided not to because the reality is, oh, I need to fix something else. I need to change this back because you're supposed to eat 9 grass before the level changes. Anyways, as I was saying, the reality is if you're a big fat cow in a graveyard, you're not going to be able to reach all the grass. And that's just the truth. So the game is complete. It is finished. There is an end screen if you die, and then also an end screen if you live. You're going to have to play to see it. It's nothing crazy. Don't get your hopes up. It's just like a quick message of like, congratulations, you win. But the game is complete, and I feel so accomplished. There are a couple of bugs that I decided just not to deal with because I tried. Trust me, I really did try to fix the fact that the grass was spawning on top of the gravestones or whatever, but it just wasn't working for me. So I gave up, and now the game is done. So if you want to play it, it will be linked down below. Enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I do have more ideas for more games I can make, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. And with that being said, goodbye. Thank you for watching.